everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are watching us from. So it's one of the days we've been waiting for. This is one of the best days to learn AI. Hi, my name is Simo Etuk, and I'm Microsoft MVP. I'm going to be your host for this event today. And this event is brought to you by the Nigerian Azure community, and we're based in Lagos, West Africa. And then today we are going to be looking at four powerful pack section that has to do with very experienced speakers who will be handling them, and we also have powerful moderators that are all Microsoft MVPs, and are going to be here to power this event today for us. And if you have not yet ready, you can invite your friends to join us before we invite our speakers. We have well experienced speakers, and our sections are very powerful today. And we are going to take you from ground level up. And this section is also for anybody, irrespective of your background, your professional level, even if you are getting started in tech, or you're already an experienced professional. AI is here for everybody to use. We have seen the trending in generative AI taking over trying to help us in our work and kind of serving as companion in our work. Whatever we do day to day as tech professionals, we use AI to assist our work and aid our productivity. So this section is open for you. Get your laptop, get your writing material, because you're going to learn a lot. And today, Global AI Bootcamp is hosted across the globe. It is hosted in places in the US, hosted in Canada, hosted everywhere around the world. So this one is brought to you by the Nigeria Azure community, Lagos, Nigeria, West Africa. So we are here for you today, and we hope to hear from you. You can quickly drop where you are where you are joining us from. If you are joining us from Lagos or from any part of Nigeria or outside Nigeria, any part of the world, let us know your location. And also feel free to interact. We have a lot of material to share with you and all that. So the first thing we are going to do is to present you with a keynote for the AI bootcamp for today. You are going to listen to this keynote. This keynote is played everywhere around the world that are hosting Global AI Bootcamp. So let's listen to the keynote now.
Hi everyone, AI enthusiasts from all around the world. Welcome to the Global AI Bootcamp 2024. What a year 2023 has been, am I right? It feels like the entire world went a little crazy. But hey, at least we got some amazing advancements in AI out of it. The evolution of LLMs and small language models has been mind-boggling fast. And let's not forget the integration of vision into these models. It's like AI suddenly developed superhero powers overnight. But let me ask you something, my fellow AI enthusiasts. Do you also find it incredibly hard to keep up with all the latest updates? I mean, seriously. It's like trying to catch a hyperactive squirrel on roller skates. It's a never-ending race to stay on top of the latest AI trends and developments. Now, I know you're all expecting a fantastic video this year, but guess what? We've got something even better in store for you. We've been on a worldwide adventure traveling around the globe, interviewing industry leaders from different companies and cloud providers. Why? Well, we want to delve deeper into the fascinating interaction between humans and AI. And let me tell you, the insights we've gathered are mind-blowing. But wait, I don't want to keep you waiting any longer. How about a little sneak peek? Yes, you heard me right. We've got a preview video ready to give you a taste of what's to come. Brace yourself for Human Hearts, Silicon Minds, the show that will make you question everything you thought you knew about AI and its impact on our lives.
You and I have the mighty human brain, the ultimate in, AGI.
I'm more of the belief that these artificial intelligence models are going to be used to make humans more productive.
Are fundamentally not intelligent systems. As I said, it's an algorithm that's predicting out the next word from things. It's a very useful algorithm.
So for example, if I were to take a glass of water and I had ice cubes on the bottom of the glass of water, an AI might be able to say, hey, those ice cubes are in the wrong spot, but doesn't reason, oh, they need to float.
So it's not intelligence that makes you able to complete tasks well. It's actually expertise. It's actually experience.
When they say they love me, it doesn't really mean there's that chemical happening within the machine that there's that we feel as human beings, right? So that's an area that I think we need to be very careful about.
What you do with an assistant is you don't explicitly tell it what to do. Instead, you give it powers.
Like the older generation, they have no idea about what is going on, and they trust everything that they see, right? So they don't have this knowledge that you cannot trust everything that you see, that you listen, that you receive.
So we should hold ourselves to a higher bar, even if it's not against the law. If it's not illegal, doesn't mean we should do it.
Now, I know you're all eager to watch the entire series, and I promise you won't have to wait long. Over the next few weeks, we'll be releasing all the episodes on our YouTube channel. And of course, we'll be keeping you updated on all the latest news and behind-the-scene action on our social media channels. So make sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube and follow us for all the AI goodness coming your way. But enough about our exciting new series, my friends. It's time to pass the torch back to the local hosts of the events you're attending right now. Whether it's in person or virtual, let's give them a big round of applause for their tireless efforts in bringing this amazing bootcamp together. So without further ado, I hope you all have a fantastic time at the Global AI Bootcamp 2024. Get ready to expand your knowledge, connect with fellow AI enthusiasts, and let's dive headfirst into the world of AI. Happy learning, everyone.
All right. Thank you guys for listening to that keynote section. I promise and Lovato Singh. Promise we can't hear you since you are muted.
Yeah, sorry about that. Hello, how you doing?
Fine, great today. And it's fantastic moment for us to gather here once again to host this bootcamp. So now, promise I'll hand over the floor to you for some of the stuff you have to unleash for us today.
Awesome. I mean, we are here, right? We are here once again, and it's the amazing event for the year, the Global AI Bootcamp. I mean, I think I've been looking forward to this event because it's been something we've been preparing towards for a while now, and we are all happy to be finally here. Yes, in the house we have awesome MVPs in the house. Oluwatosi Anishere, our MVP, one of our foremost leaders in the Azure Nigeria community. We also have Imor, whom we all know, one of the leaders in the community as well. I'll also be bringing on board our recent leader for the community. Yes, none other than Oluwadamilola Aremu. Yes, she's in the house with us today, guys. She's in the house with us today. And we are more than very well excited to have her with us here today. And it's amazing that we also have one of our special guests in the house. I wouldn't call him a special guest because he's been part of the community as well. And he's been also doing some awesome work with us. He's none other than Emmanuel Itoje. Hello, Emmanuel. How are you doing today?
I promise I'm very well, thank you. Good to be here.
Awesome.
Good to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. That's great. That's great. All right. I'm going to be um, leading this session for like a few minutes. And basically, what we are going to be doing is generally talking about open AI, talking about Azure, right? What are the futures Azure has for us when it comes to AI, and what has been the recent development that we've seen across in Azure Open AI, right? My very first question, right, is I think this is something that I know most people want to find out, or most people want to, discuss about. But of course, I wouldn't go so specific so that the our guests we have in the house will be able to follow through. The very first question I know most people would always ask is this: does Azure Open AI work with the latest Python library released by the OpenAI? I'm about to call anyone in the house, but let me start with Imo on this. Imo, what is your take on this?
Okay.
Does OpenAI work with the latest Python library released by OpenAI?
Okay. Thank you very much, Promise. Uh,
Yeah.
so, first of all, for the audience to have a full understanding of this question, let's first of all know what OpenAI, Azure OpenAI is. First of all, we need to understand that Azure OpenAI is a fully managed service that allows developers to easily integrate OpenAI models into their applications. So it is fully powered by Microsoft Azure. And yes, back to your question, yes, Azure OpenAI is supported by the latest release of OpenAI Python library. You can use a Python library with your Azure OpenAI. Does that answer your question?
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you very much for that, Imo. Thank you very much for that, Imo. Of course, like I said, I'm going to be dishing out a couple of questions, and the whole idea of this is to ensure that the I guess the attendees who are watching are able to pick one or two from the questions we currently have for them. Right. So I have one other question here, and it's somewhat interesting and relating to Chat GPT. But let's see. I can't find GPT-4 Turbo preview. Where is it? So this question is going to be going to none other than our leader in the house, Oluwadamilola Aremu. Where do I find where do I find GPT-4 Turbo preview? Hi, Dami. Seems you're muted.
Yeah, I'm here. All right. So you're looking for GPT-4 Turbo Preview.
Yeah.
You've been searching. Well, you can find it under deployment, right?
Awesome.
So you can find it under deployment. And once you go to deployment, you can select the model and select GPT-4. That's how to find that. I hope that helps somebody.
Yes, yes, yes. That helps. That helps. All right. We are also getting some interesting, and of course, our attendees in the house, feel free to contribute to any of the questions you feel you are familiar with. We are generally just trying to give some, what's the word, some intro into all of this open AI will have, and of course, feel free to contribute to our conversation. All right, I'll be asking one more question for the house, and this question is, I think, is it's somewhat what a lot of people have been looking forward to, or probably have been asking as well, right? And it's none other than, does Azure OpenAI support GPT-4? Yes, I'm going to be asking none other than our MVP in the house today, Oluwatosi Anishere. Does Azure OpenAI support GPT-4?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Promise, for the question. I thought you answered it yourself when you said yes, but it's actually a yes.
Yeah, okay.
Azure support this latest GPT-4. And I remember Microsoft announcing that it's available in its, Azure open source, and customers and partners who are already using this Azure OpenAI can easily apply the to have access to GPT-4. So it's really cool, as this is an advancement of the GPT-5 that we are all familiar with. So yes, it's a yes.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much for that, Tulsi. All right. I'm going to be asking one more interesting question. Probably I'll ask a couple, but of course, I know we have capable people in the house, capable leaders in the house. So I'm not somewhat putting any kind of pressure on them because I know they are very well familiar with these topics. The next question I'll be asking, although I've not seen any contribution from the attendees. Hello, guys. We are trying to open up a discussion so that we can get people rolling in on what is happening before we bring in the special, awesome speakers we have for you guys today. Right? So feel free to join in on the conversation. You never know what is up for grabs, guys. All right. My next question is, how do the capabilities of Azure OpenAI compare to OpenAI? How do the capabilities of Azure OpenAI compare to OpenAI? And I'm going to be asking none other than one of the leaders we have in the house, Emmanuel Itoje. Hello, Emmanuel. I think you were mute. I can't hear you.
I promise. Yeah, sorry, I was talking on mute.
Awesome.
Yeah, can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you
Awesome.
now.
Okay, awesome. Great question. I remember recently requesting for Azure OpenAI for one of our subscriptions in our enterprise. So what Azure OpenAI service does is that it gives customers advanced language AI with OpenAI GPT-3, the codec, and even the DALL-E model. So with security and enterprise promises of Azure. So with the capability of this Azure OpenAI, it's brought about the code developed the APIs with OpenAI, and it ensures a kind of a compatibility and a smooth transition from one to the other. So with the capability of Azure OpenAI and OpenAI, you can actually transit from one to the other. That's how the compatibility of Azure is with OpenAI.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you very much for that, Emmanuel. I mean, interesting. Yes, we've been having some interesting conversations going around open AI, and I think people have been really wondering, what does the open AI concept, what is it really all about? It's still amazing, right, that we have people who don't know really much about this. You understand? And I know, as some of us may already have that. What's the word I would say? Some of us may already have that. I would call it knowledge on open AI, right? And may feel like, hey, there's really nothing new to me here. But yeah, I know there may be nothing new to you, but it's amazing the number of people who we have out there and they have no knowledge on Azure OpenAI. And it's for you and people like those out there that we created this program for, right? So I'm going to be asking the next question to our awesome leader in the house, Oluwa Damilola Aremu, because she'll be taking this next question. It's quite an interesting question, though, so don't get worried about it. All right, my next question to our leader here in the house is this: does Azure OpenAI support VNet and private endpoints?
Okay,
Does
so
OpenAI support VNet and private endpoints?
all right. So to answer that, the answer is yes. It does support VNet and private endpoints. So if you're worried about that, I think you can relax now, knowing that it supports VNet and private network for your infrastructure.
Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Because, like I would always say, right, VNets are like the base that supports a lot of what's the word to say? Before you virtually build almost any infrastructure in Azure, one of the very, very fundamental things you want to make sure is in place is your virtual network, right? That's one of the very important things you want to make sure happens, right? And imagine having to build any of your infrastructure without any form of connectivity. That is to tell you, I mean, I think that is going to be like some kind of crash, right? So the VNet
Sure.
is so important in whatever we are building in the Azure environment. All right, I'll be taking my next question to MVP Tosi. And it's not so, like I said, it's not so not so what's the word? Don't worry, don't be scared, don't be scared. It's nothing so like that. And the question is this: do the GPT-4 models currently support image inputs? Do the GPT-4 models currently support image inputs?
Oh, okay. Sadly, that's a no, in
All
as
right.
much as it's been expected. For now, just supports just the text input and output. That's the only thing that is supported. It does not support image inputs in any form currently.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Thank you so much for that. Um, I hope everyone has been, following up. I see people like Habib Abiola, Okpemi Steven. I mean, I hope you guys are enjoying this session because trust me, this is just a preview to what we have for you, right? This is just a preview to what we have for you. So, my next question will go to let me say my next question will go to Emmanuel Itoje. So it's not any so spacious or so difficult. So yeah, don't get so worried about that. Anyway, so it says, how do I apply for new use cases? When dealing with open AI, when dealing with models, how do I apply for new use cases? Yes. Yeah, Emmanuel, I think you're speaking
I
on mute.
promise. Yes, I. So basically, to actually reapply for new use cases, what Microsoft is doing, I remember applying for one recently. It requires you to actually, there's a new process that allow you to quickly add new use cases to your use of service, and this process actually follows an established limited asset process within the Azure AI service. So basically, if you're an existing customer of Microsoft, so there is a link, a URL that you have to click on. With that URL, it actually brings out the form. From the form, if you fill in your company's details, you have to fill in the Azure, the subscription ID for your Azure subscription for your organization, and the email you have to use must be your organization email. You can't use your personal email like Hotmail or Outlook.com or Gmail account. You have to use your organization email, and that will actually go through a verification process. So once it's verified, yeah, you'll be able to have a limited access to the new cases that you've actually applied for, basically. You're talking on mute, promise.
My bad. My bad. All right. At this point in time, I think we can actually get set and get to listen to our speakers for the day. And I would be handing over to our MVP Tosi in the house, right? I'll be handing over to our MVP Tosin in the house to take on the next session. So, hello, MVP Tosin, over to you.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Really excited to be here. My name is Oluwatosin Anishere, MVP, Microsoft MVP for Azure, and I'm also one of the leaders for the Nigeria Azure community. Um, Here we're talking about the OpenAI, and we have amazing speakers that are here with us. So the first speaker that I'll be introducing is a wonderful person, and this person, giving you the bio, after 20 years, that is, this person been in the consulting world for 20 years. This person has served as a project manager, scrum master, and this person has also decided to go, too far away from code and start taking freelance job. Now, this is no other seasoned expert than David Martinez himself. He began working exclusively on his own, bringing the knowledge that he has gained from, enterprise organization in the country, as well as large, small, medium businesses as well. So he will be talking to us on the best expert system is a game. Yes, I can hear you.
So I think
Yes.
there's a mix up. The first speaker is Pratap. David Martinez is the second speaker. Pratap is the first.
Oh. Okay. My bad. I must have mixed it up. I guess I was too excited to have David on the show. Oh, thank you for that clarification. Yes, Pratap. Okay. Of course, Pratap is also an amazing speaker, and MVP is Pratap Reddy. Is a Microsoft MVP for Azure OpenAI, which makes it very interesting. This session, he will be talking to us on unlocking the power, where he's going to be diving into the AI Studio and model catalog for us. Hi, Pratap.
Hi, everyone. Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm really happy to have you here. Apologies for mistaking David to be the first for the session, but I'm glad to have you here. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're ready to receive what you have for us, and we can't wait to learn from the wealth of your knowledge. So over to you, Pratap.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. So first of all, I thank you so much for the entire team of the Azure community of Nigeria. So I really thank you. So because of the time constraint, I need to come first. So thank you so much for the David for the next speaker for the understanding. So I don't have enough time to present at my slot. So I need to go for the first. So thank you so much for the entire team of this amazing opportunity for the collaborated with the global AI community, and today we can talk about so the Azure OpenAI Azure AI Studios or model catalog. So I would like to share my screen and then I would like to show you. So I don't have the much time. So then we can go forward. Yeah, I'd like to share my screen and share screen. Okay. Please let me know once my screen is visible to everyone. I think my screen is visible to you, right? My PPT slides and all. Please confirm anyone.
Yes, see your screen. You can see your screen, Pratap. You can carry on.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thanks for confirmation. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, so today we can talk about this Azure AI Studio. So we have some the model catalogs. So we need to go for some model catalogs. So I would like to show you how to create some model catalogs. So the model catalogs will play a key roles in the Microsoft Azure AI Studio. So this is the Microsoft Azure AI Studio is a new feature that will be available on the after the build event. It will be available after November 2023. So it is available to everyone, and so it was still preview. So they are building Microsoft building their new model catalogs, and they are creating they're including lots of services in that one. So I would like to show you what are the features of this Azure AI Studio, and so why it will be more interesting to compared to the Azure OpenAI and machine learning and everything. And now, so before going to that one, so I would like to introduce myself. Also, I'm associate consultant AVDN, so I'm working as a data engineer. So I'm frequently writing, or articles, so blogs and everything. So I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a blogger. I hold the 7x Azure certified. So recently, I got in the month of the January, I got the Microsoft Most Valuable Professional Award in the category of AI, in the subcategories like Azure OpenAI and as well as the machine learning. Okay, so if you want to connect with me for the future or and also like OpenAI things and machine learning things, so you feel free to connect with me. This is my QR code, and I would like to share my LinkedIn URL in the end of the session. And so please feel to connect with me if you have any queries related to the Azure OpenAI and as well as so. And I think also previously in the keynote session, someone was asking me about this, where we need to find about the GPT-4 and GPT-4 versions and all. So we have the GPT-4 versions and all the, DALI 3 version. DALI 3 is also available in this Azure OpenAI as well. So we have, and also the one more feature that will be like Assistant API is also available now. So that will that is in the preview version only. You just to go and you can utilize all the services in the Azure OpenAI as well. Now we can go for the Azure AI Studio, the latest models. So we have the different latest models, like they are integrated the Azure, like Lambda models and Hugging Face models, and so we have some automated ML models, everything like the prompt engineering models, everything that will be included in this Azure AI Studio latest models. So simply we can say that explore a robotic and growing catalog for pre-built and customizable frontier and open source models. Yes, everything. So few models are the open source model. We need to go and we need to use that whatever the APIs we need to copy that URLs, and we have to we need to use for whatever the services we need. So we need to use according to that particular models. So we have lots of services, like I would like to show you. So what are the latest advancements and everything. And one more thing is by using this Azure AI Studio, so build the way you want. So whatever the thing what we need, so we need to go that particular destination. So for example, it says I need to create my own copilot. So what I need, so we have some of the requirements. So the whatever the requirements for building the copilot, everything we need to get it from this Azure AI Studio. So in the Azure AI Studio, so we have lots of in my inbuilt features, like so how to create copilot and everything. So we have that inbuilt feature. So we need to go and we need to utilize that one. And so let's see. So create a AI model with the core first experience and accessible UI validation by developers with the disabilities. Yes, of course. So for example, this is the best way that you want to create some beautiful applications by using this AI Studio and everything. So that's why. So whenever we have to open this Azure Playground, Azure OpenAI Playground, so we have to see this. There is a redirection option called Azure AI Studio. So some of the services that will be overlapped between this Azure OpenAI and Azure AI Studio. So we can go ahead and we can use this all the services like Language Studio. So we have some features that will be used for this both the common in the machine learning and as well as Azure AI Studio. We have some both services that we have used. So like I didn't remember that the automated ML, some the prompt engineering models, that both are similar to that one. So I would like to show you and integrate your own data. Yes, of course. So we have, so for example, let's say, so you are working as a data engineer, you are working as a data scientist, and you have the huge amount of data. So your the clients is asking me about the one business requirement. So what you do is you seamlessly integrate all your data as one lake and the Microsoft Fabric, and so this is a Microsoft Fabric also is they're in and these everything that will be integrated into seamlessly into the Azure AI Studio. So in the Azure AI Studio, so we have the functionalities like so you have the integrate your data into the own creating your own copilot and creating your own application. Everything that will be available for this particular application, and yeah. So these are something about that you have to integrate your own data and you have to create your you have to add your you have to add the AI to the particular application and orchestrate AI solution. integrate with the GitHub. Yeah, so we have some the orchestration with the AI solutions for this particular AI studio. So by integrate with the GitHub code spaces and semantic helpnet and LangChain and access the pre-built capabilities to the build apps. Yes, of course, these are the, some of the AI solutions for your particular applications in the other. So those, that is the only thing, only the particular solution for this. All the solutions is Azure AI Studio, and so yeah, we have some the empowering the business innovations for this Azure AI Studio. So we have the improve the customer experience. The yeah, of course, we have the, that is the one of the solution that we have to give for the clients and the customers for this by using this Azure AI Studio. So we have the greatest, greatest. Greatest thing is that also we need to every time that we have to ask for the feedback. So we have to improve our product experience, and we have to give the best quality for this users and the best quality for the customers as well, and reduce organizers of course. So this is the one of the best thing that we have to give for this customers. So reducing the organizers risk by using this Azure AI and improve work quality. As of course, by using this AI and Azure AI Studio, so we have the greatest work quality and enhance the productivity and efficiency. Yes, of course. So within the, for example, it says so we have to complete this work within the 15 to 20 days. So that will be done by using this Azure AI. So with the whole work of this 15 to 20 days that we have to complete it by the within 5 to 6 hours only. So that is the great thing that we have to going for the enhancing this productivity and efficiency by using this Azure AI Studio. And we have some capabilities. So build your own copilot, and we have some the build your own copilot and enhance the chat. As of course, so we have to enhance the enterprise chat is there, and yeah, we have also incorporate multimodality. So we have the multimodality. As for example, so we have some Hugging Face models, we have some the Lambda models, we have some the NVIDIA models, we have some. So we have different models that everything that will be available in the Azure AI Studio. So we have the GPT-4 and GPT-4 the turbo, everything that will be available, and the speech analytics. Yes, of course, so this is one of the capabilities of this Azure AI Studio is the speech analytics as well. And it is everything that will be is a basic introduction about the Azure AI Studio. Let's get going to the demo session. Now I would like to share that my screen for that one, and stop this one, and I would like to share my screen as well. 1 second. Yeah, I think my screen is visible to everyone. And yeah, so now I would like to what I do is so this is my Azure playground. So what I need to do is so first of all I need to create one workspace, and so before that also we need some different so we have the different subscriptions. So in that subscription, so we need to go for the, so I have the my Microsoft MVP subscription, so I need to utilize this Microsoft MVP subscriptions. If you want to go for your pay-as-you-go or a free trial subscription for the 28 days, or you can utilize $200 of the credit limit, and you can utilize all the services. After that, you need to go for the pay-as-you-go. Okay, now I would like to show you how to create one resource in the Azure AI Studio. Then we can go for, and we need to utilize the Azure AI Studio, all these things. So I'm already created one Azure AI Studio. Now I would like to show you how to create that one. And I just tap onto the new resource group and just type this Azure AI Studio. Okay. The first thing is Azure AI Studio. So in this marketplace, we have some Azure AI Studio. I just tap on to close. So this is the thing we need to take care of, this Azure AI Studio. Just tap onto the Azure AI Studio and tap on to create button. So or else you need to go for, there is a there is a search option. You just type Azure AI Studio. So you can also redirect to the same resource as destination as well. So here they're asking different so with different we need to give some information. They're asking some default information you need to give, and so they're asking for the subscription. So for the subscription, we have the different subscriptions. So I have the Visual Studio Enterprise subscription, and you can utilize your pay-as-you-go or else free trial subscription. And they are asking for the resource group. So I'm already having the one resource group demo. So or else I need to create one resource group. Like instantly we can create one resource group. For example, let's say it's a global AI community. Global AI community. So I just tap onto that one. So and I just tap onto the okay. It will create automatically. 1 second. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think I have some problem to while creating this one. Okay, so you just tap on in the you just give me the name, so instant it will create the I mean research group. Once the unique name is available, so instant it will create that. For example, let's say so blah blah blah. So you just tap onto the create button, it will create. Yeah, so now it will be created. So like that only, I just tap onto the demo only, and so we have the different regions. So for this Azure AI Studio, so you need to select what are the regions that you want to create your. You have to make your all the services in that particular region. You need to select that particular region as well. So and also one more thing is that for this Azure AI Studio, so only it will applicable for the few regions only out of 65, and you can go for that one. I think only 65. So it recently added so few more resource regions as well. And yeah, so we have to give one unique name. I just give you the like Azure Azerian group. Okay, so I just given the one unique name, and I just given the friendly name is Azure group. No, and the default project resource group is a demo. And if you want to give any informative description about this Azure, Azure AI Studio, about this Azure, particularly Azure AI Studio, and you can give me the description as well. Or else you can go for tap onto the next, and they're asking for the different resources details like Azure AI services. For example, they're asking different resource group. So you just select whatever the region, whatever the service you need. You need to keep it. I just keep it as a default because they are selected as a default destinations. And storage account I given this one, and keyword for this one Azure engine something, and application insights they're asking some this one, and the content registry is now none. So you can use for a content registry, you can create a registry as well. Once you have to select all these things and just tap onto the next button. So we what are the services that you have created in this Azure AI Studio, so you need to be the public one, or you need to go for the private mode, or approve without bond, or you need to tap accordingly. So what I need to, I just tap onto the public one only, and then I can go for this Microsoft manager keys, or else you can have any customer manager keys. So you need to go for, and you need to select, and there is some keyword you just tap onto that one. You need to go and you need to use this all the manager customer manager keys. So I just default I can go for the Microsoft manager keys, or else and then I can tap onto the identity. So once you tap onto the identity and tags, so you have any tags in a particular project, you just give me your name and values as per your requirement. So once you have given all the information, and just go for the review and creator. So once the validation is completed, the Azure AI service is created successfully. Okay, so in this Azure AI Studio, like so we validation is posted successfully. So I think it will be completed successfully. And meanwhile, you just drop your queries related to this Azure AI Studio. So if what are the queries you have to you have any queries related to Azure AI Studio and Azure OpenAI Studio, please let me know, and you just drop your queries. And in the meanwhile, I just ping me, or else so we don't have enough time, so that's why. So you just drop your queries, and then I would like to electrify your queries as well. Okay, so after this session, and I just tap onto the create button. So once the validation is completed, so it will go for, we need to utilize the Azure AI Studio service. Okay, so I'm already created one Azure AI Studio, so I just share that screen as well. Okay, so this is the Azure AI Studio preview. So we have once the validation is completed, we just created it to this Azure AI Studio. So I'm already created this service. So we have some inbuilt features like discover what you want. So we have the services like so build the custom AI assistants with the assistant API. So this assistant API is also is available in this Azure OpenAI. So in the Azure OpenAI, so we need to go for so we need to ask like so it will create some of the 3D animations. So we have the some of the right. So for this DALI, and also we have to give some of the prompt like that only for this Azure assistant API. Also it will work for different scenarios. So like it is still in the preview version only in the Azure OpenAI, but it is so if you want to create your own AI assistant, for example, let's say if you are creating one particular website, so if you want the Azure OpenAI as a AI assistant, you need to go for, and you need to place this Azure AI Studio, and you need to create it. And one more thing is build your own copilot. So the build your own copilot is one of the best thing that we have to do in this Azure AI Studio. So for example, let's say we have some different kind of data. So for example, let's say in the Azure AI Studios, we already talked about in the presentation about this. You just add your bring your own data to create your we have to create the AI we have to create the AI solution for this your particular AI. So what we do is, so we have to create our own copilot for this Azure AI and your own data. So like that only we have some the set of data. We need to create the AI model. So for example, let's say we have to ask, so we have the metadata of the Excel sheet, for example, like a name, age and phone number and for example email address and everything. So for example, like that we need to ask some the several data, like so I need this person's, I mean for example let's say so I'm belongs to the India, so I need the particular literally I'm living in the Chennai, in the Bangalore, I mean sorry, in India. So for example let's say so I need some information what are the, I mean those who are from the Chennai, so please I need some information. So we need to ask on the Copilot model. So like that we need to customize our own Copilot by using this this Azure AI Studio. And so we have some incorporate multimodality model. So we have some incorporate multimodalities. Let's say so we have, so we need to go for the GPT-4 Turbo Vision, and you have to give some images. It will be create some and videos in this Azure AI Studio, like that one. So I would like to share so I think it will take a lot of time to create that one, and we have some, we need to create the workshop for this Azure AI Studio. But so 1 hour a tour, the tour of I mean time, it is not enough for this Azure AI Studio and all. So we have some so these all are the some model catalogs and everything. So we have to go for and tap onto the explore button. So we have some the model catalogs. So what are the model catalogs we have, so here we have the Mr. Lodge now is available in this Azure AI Studio. So this is so for if you want to create any gamings and everything, so you need to go for this one. Or else we have so Llama 2 APS as well. So we have so the metadata. So the Meta is the Facebook. I mean Facebook. Now it is a Meta. So we have to go for this, use this Llama 2 APS for your model by using this model catalogs. And Azure OpenAI language models. So in Azure OpenAI language models, we need to go for, and we have some Azure Assistant APIs, and we have to go for this. We have the set out of data. We need to go and we need to translate your data into the one form of the data into the other form of the data. We have some the set of the data, so we need to go and we need to upload into some kind of the storages. And so all the services in the language models, we have some the speech to text and text to, and we have lots of services in the Azure AI. So I didn't remember about this language to models, and also in the we have we can do for the speech models. And of course we do. So we have some of the model catalogs in this one. And so applied filters for this one, we have some the model GPT-3 Turbo and GPT-3 to 5. We have GPT-4 versions, and we have the lots of services like we these all the services. We have some Hugging Face models in this Azure AI Studio, and Falcon models. Yes, of course, the Databricks, so Dolly models, and OpenAI Whispers. And yes, of course, we have to give some text data to the particular OpenAI Whispers. It will give you the responses very very quickly. So that was very good thing, very good thing that we have to know from this one. And so we have lots of services. Let's see so how many services that we have in this model catalogs, and also we can go for, and we have to filter the models. So what, for example, I need to tap onto the Hugging Face model. So what are the Hugging Face models we have, then that will be available. So we have some model of approximately 50,000 1,500 models that will be available. I think this, I don't know exactly whether it is right or not. And I need to tap into the NVIDIA. So the NVIDIA will take over the AI is the top level in the now. So there is the number one AI and artificial intelligence that will be created with the NVIDIA company. So recently we saw the Azure AI tour and everything that will be belongs to this NVIDIA partnership with Microsoft partnership with NVIDIA only. So like that only we have to utilize all these services. I think I don't want to demonstrate you because there's a time consistent. So we have some the model benchmarks as well. So I think I need 2 more minutes to complete this one. And so we have the benchmarks as well. You need to compare the models. So we have some the compare the models, like so. These all the services, like see, let's see how many services we have so integrated in this Azure AI Studio. All the services, like so we in the machine learning in the Azure OpenAI and everything that we have to do. So that is the uniqueness in this Azure AI Studio. Like we need to create all I mean everything that will be in the single place. So like right, so the AI is everywhere. So like that the Copilot is everywhere. Like we need to use in the PowerPoint Copilot and Teams Copilot, the SharePoint Copilot, everything. So like that we need to create our own Copilot by using this Azure AI Studio. So like that, so that's why AI is everywhere. And prompt catalog. So the prompt engineering is the best thing that we have to do. We have to see in this Azure AI Studio, and as well as the machine learning studio. The prompt engineering and everything that will place. So for example, let's say the prompt engineering will place a key role. For example, we need to ask some several questions regarding this particular data and everything. So the whatever the prompt we have to given that particular model that plays a key role. For example, let's say so I'm asking the several questions like what is the time in this Nigerian to the GPT models, and the response from this GPT models are LLM models. Like a large language model, so that will give you the response according to their knowledge perspective. So like that with the prompt catalog, we have to make in the different they have to train our we have to train that prompt models. We have to train them, we have to guide them in a proper set of way. Like that way, we need to go and explore this Azure AI Studio. So we have the build models. So we need to tap onto the create some projects related to the Azure AI Hub and review and finish. We have to getting started that one. And so we have some the managed options as well. So we have to go and we have to utilize all the services like promises and connections and policies and bills, everything that will be we have to manage by this Azure AI. And we have some these are all the services like these all everything will be related to the Azure OpenAI and as well as Azure AI Studio. So machine learning and language and speech and vision, custom translated document, content safety, and everything that will be available in the both in the Azure AI Studio and both Azure OpenAI Studio. So like that we can say so. But I on the next session I probably I would like to give you for the I need some permission from this Azure AI Studio. I mean. Permissions for this Azure AI Studio to create some several solutions because so I need to demonstrate some demo for this one. It will take some time, so probably I need to stop here only. So I just for example, 1 second, I need to go. Yeah. So thank you so much for this opportunity because so I don't have the enough time to talk for this one. So I need to travel. So that's why. So the David is also waiting for this one. And so if you have whatever the queries you have related to the Azure AI Studio, Azure OpenAI Studio and everything, please feel free to reach out to me. And yeah, drop your queries and literally I just, I mean, literally day after tomorrow and everything, I just ping you for this queries as well. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pratap. I think it's been an amazing session and an awesome demo you did there. Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. Of course, Pratap has shared his details with you, my fellow attendees. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send them in and we'll direct them to Pratap. Thank you very much again, Pratap, for the awesome session. And it was nice to have you here today.
Thank you so much, and all the best to my fellow speakers as well. And thank you so much, David, for waiting for your patience as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Cheers. All right. An interesting session there, I must say, and I hope you were able to pick up one or two things, right? Because, like I said, we have some awesome lined up speakers for you here today, and they are going to be giving you some nice topics which you are going to enjoy. All right, the next speaker who is going to be speaking with us today is he's been an amazing person, really, because he's been in this industry for the past 20 years, who has served also as the project manager, a scrum master. You know, he's worked in some of the top companies you have in the IT industry. And also right now, he's also gone into training development, right? And training those in small business companies and large business companies who needs these ideas and this knowledge, right? He's also he also develops with PHP, WordPress, and Laravel, JavaScript, Vue, and React. You know, just to mention a few, right? Like I said, this knowledge has been gained for the past 20 years. But of course, join me as I welcome none other than David Martinez to the stage. Hello, David. How are you doing today?
Hello, good afternoon from Spain.
Good afternoon. Good
How are
afternoon.
you?
Awesome. We'll be looking forward to your session. And of course, I'm having my biro and my daughter here, and I'm listening to get the utmost lectures and knowledge I can gain from you here today. And of course, we have attendants who are really looking forward to this session. So I would say the stage is over to you, David.
Okay, so I start to share my screen. If you let me a second, please confirm if you don't see it, because we need to go quite fast. So let's start. For the beginning, thank you for everyone to be here in this time in the afternoon. In Spain, also we say good morning when we don't have lunch, and if you also don't have lunch as me, good morning. Then for all of you, thank you for reserving this time to share with me and try to understand a little bit of what an expert system can help us to understand how a game can aid to another topic in expert systems. So let's start. I introduce myself. As promised, I am a computer engineer for almost 25 years in IT. I finished my studies of computer engineer last seculum in 1999. And for 25 years, I worked for the biggest companies in Spain. And 4 years ago, I started to work in another way, return to the code and try to share my knowledge with small and medium-sized companies, and moved to a little place in Spain called Ponferrada, where I am from. I worked all the years before in Madrid, the Spanish capital city, and I am designing expert systems since 1999. So I have a little experience with this kind of systems. It's not the same that AI, but it's more or less a topic of AI, as we say further in this explanation. Sorry, let's back, because my name is very common in Spanish community. I put there my LinkedIn. You can send me a link and ask me anything if you don't have time at the end of this session. So let's start. What are we going to talk? What is an expert system? How expert systems can help us? And above all, how expert systems were applied to board games in the early days of computing. This leads us to the central part of how we implement a simple board game or any type of game, and how this game can help us to create better expert systems. What is an expert system? Expert systems is a type of computer design to emulate the decision-making capabilities of human experts in a specific area of knowledge, not a medium human. If not, it's only an expert system in a specific topic. It consists of a database of specialized information, logical rules that enable the system to analyze data, make inference, and provide solutions or recommendations based on its knowledge. These systems are used to address complex problems in specific fields, mimicking the experience and reasoning of a human expert in this subject. How do expert systems help us? First of all, knowledge representation. By studying and organizing specialized knowledge in specific domains. Also with problem solving, analyzing data, evaluating scenarios, and providing solutions or recommendations. Could help us also in decision support, assisting users in making informed decisions and offering well-founded suggestions. The most important of an expert system is consistency and reliability by ensuring that decision-making process be available 24/7. We are going to know a little story about the background of the games, the board games. The beginning of this story was a chess program written by Turing, the same of Turing theorem, with his colleague Campernoun. They both written a chess program in 1948 that couldn't be implemented in this time because there wasn't a computer with enough power to run it. However, 4 years later, in 1952, he tested his program simulating the computer moves. In its first game, Turing's program and Campernoun program lost to a skilled amateur player. But amateur, not less, could have a match with Campernoun, lost the game, but they think that this wasn't a point to stop the research. This was a point to have more efforts on it and try to find another solution. Then they try to confirm another match with another person. The woman of Campernoun, she was learning chess, and then tried to to play with her wife, and then the program won this player, and another player that don't know very well how to play chess, but know the moves. So this was a very important point in the story of the games, of the board games, because a machine would beat a human, not very good human in this area, but a human nevertheless. This marked the beginning of a great trajectory of classic games transferred to computers, eventually leading the emergence of the term video game, the creation of games exclusively in technological realm. Some of the most important ones, in addition to Turing Campernon and Turing chess game, include Nimrod by John Bennett, a classic game translated to transfer to a computer. Here in the screen, you can see an image of how was the machine where Nimrod ran the first time. This desk in front of the machine show us how big the computer was. A couple of years later, or months, better say, Alexander Douglas written OXO, OXO, or tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row, where the pieces was like this, a couple of points in the screen that could be moved alternatively by the machine and the human. Not only put the piece on the board, also move them after put the first time. We continue with the first game specific developed for arcade machines, Space War. This is the aspect of Space War. In Spain, we call it Marcianitos or Guerra de las Galaxias, because it's the reproduce of the film that translate to the machines. In 1962, the industry recognized this potential, and the first major game was developed during the 60s. As a milestone, the legendary Pong, created by a team of engineers at Atari, released in 71. This is the aspect that has the machine of Pong, specifically developed to arcade machines, the first arcade machine that we have in the world. It's not more than a computer with a screen and also a limited board to introduce the orders to capture the moves. And then the bigger one. The Turing test established that a computer is intelligent, or could be understood as intelligent, if we cannot determine whether a game is played by a human or by a computer. That was the goal in the middle 80s and part of the 90s for IBM. And then Deep Blue was released in 1996 by IBM in the great showdown between Kasparov and the machine. Kasparov was the reigning world chess champion at the time and had only as rival as Anatoly Karpov, although the machine played against the best player in the world in the moment. The machine lost the first match, but was allowed to win 2 of the 7 established matches of the tournament. Kasparov lost by the first time against Deep Blue in February 10th of 1996. 4-2 finished the match, but a year later, the machine managed to defeat Kasparov. Deep Blue has 30 nodes, each one with 30 processors of 120 megahertz. This year, I was studying at the university in the third course, I think. I'm in the computer room of my university we have only a very limited processors for A6 at 33 megahertz. And that processors, you can see here the machine. This was the blue. As I say, to have an idea of what capacity of processment we have in this time, 30 by 30 by 120, more than less 100,000 megahertz. And this is the same, more than less, than we have with current high-level processors in the market, AMD Ryzen and Intel i9. And what can we extract from this to this learning of big computer companies? Well, I think that if we want to design an expert system to help us make decisions for space shuttle navigation, loan approval, or even medical diagnosis, we must start with the fundamentals of any expert systems. That is, developing a game. Go ahead. And how can we apply expert systems to a gaming? Well, in our game, the board is where the action unfolds and pieces are placed. We have decision alternatives. Alternatives that an expert system can be considered as possible plays or moves that we can make in the game. Each option represents an action that the system can take in response to the current situation. Similarly, an expert system analyzes the possible ramifications and outcomes of each decision alternative before selecting the best course of action. This involves considering factors such as the rules of the game, the goal to achieve, and the available information. How to win? We have a couple of pieces in the board, and we have to find a path to win the game. So we can reach this position at the end of our strategy. In our game, players assess the potential consequences of their moves based on the current position of the pieces. Each combination of pieces in the board may require a specific strategy to achieve the desired goal. In expert system, it analyzes the potential consequence of each decision based on the current situation of the problem. It evaluates how different courses of action could influence at the final outcome and selects the most advantageous strategy to achieve the desired goal. And send us solutions or recommendations. Avoid losing. In the decision-making response failure, try to facing a failure of threat and expert system, the configuration of relevant data of variables that at the moment may reveal areas of vulnerability that need to be protected or corrected. In our game, players evaluate decision strategies to protect their pieces and avoid losing the game. Decision-making in response failures, the expert system, possible responses to countermeasures and evaluated to mitigate or neutralize the impact of a failure or a threat. This involves selecting the best defensive strategy, considering factors such as the criticalness of the failure, available resources, and potential future scenarios. Abort and discard wrong options. Strategy. In our game, players evaluate the different available strategies and select the one that they consider the most effective to achieve the victory. During the game, development processes, designers and programmers evaluate and select implementation strategies that they consider most effective to create and engage an exciting game experience. This involves making decisions about game design, gameplay, mechanics, performance optimization, and anything else to ensure a satisfactory user experience. Game over. What happens when we finish a match? When the game ends, players may experience a variety of emotions such as satisfaction from winning, frustration from losing, or even indifference if the game ends in a draw. In a expert system, we need an automatic restart of the expert system when the move finishes or it fails. Similar to the completion of a game, the automatic restart of a expert system can occur when the task is complete or a specific goal is achieved. This restart may be necessary to prepare the system for future decisions to ensure its continued proper functioning. And then we are going to see here you can scan and access to the URL that we see before to download these slides and also to play a game, because now we are going to play. This is the page where you go if you open this QR, and we are going not to download the slides, to play the game. This game was my project in the University of AI. I have this subject also in my studies plan, and we need to create a practice. We need to create a game based on a book that sent us as biography our teacher. But I don't like any one of these games. I try to use this. When I was a child, I played to this game with my grandmother, and my teacher allowed me to write it. So years later, I translate this game to another languages, and this is a version that I developed in JavaScript and later in Phaser. The object of the game is don't have to pick the last stick of this pyramid. And the most allowed is to pick all sticks that we want in a row, only in a row, and consecutively. Then here is in Spanish. This is my turn, and also we see this is the turn of machine. But before of all, we are going to make a not allow movement. For instance, I pick in this kind of move. The expert system say me that we can't do this kind of moves in this game. So the first of all, the expert system must know all the allowed moves, all the possibilities to select. And then when the human player pick a couple of sticks, have to have a move. What kind of move? First of all, at the draw move. In a row, pick a couple of sticks. Why the expert system pick 3 sticks and no more, neither less? Because the system tries to emulate the knowledge of a human. In this case, pick the same number of sticks, because as we see later, we have time in the code. The most effective strategy is to have balanced as odd number of sticks of one group, and the other group of sticks of 2 or more sticks balanced with the same pair number. So 1 stick, 3 sticks. There we have 3 sticks balance, 2 sticks, 2 sticks balance, and also 5 and 5. So we only have this block. I said it in the wrong way. This block of sticks. In this situation, the machine have a strategy that let him win. Him or her, I don't know. 1 stick, 1 odd stick. I think 2 sticks, 2 groups of 3, 2, and 5. So when I then pick a couple of sticks, 5 in this case, the machine do the same, has also balanced the system. The machine is in the way to win, because if I pick 1, what did the machine do? pick 3. Balance, because it's an odd number. 3 is also an odd number. And balance, because it's a pair number. So if I pick 1, he's going to pick also 1 from here. And then we only can pick 1 by 1 stick till the end. And machine 1, because I have to pick the last one. So we only have a couple of minutes. In the code, we can see how the system is created. We have initial variables. Don't use let because it's an old game. And we have a couple of instructions create that is the system, how the system restarted. When we finish a match, it's restarted with this function. This restores these variables to the initial status. And also we have a couple of functions important that let me say what is the best option. And also we have here text and check if a move is allowed, comprobar jugada. In Spanish, check player, check move, and the chance that the machine runs. This is the most important function of the game. With this function, the machine selects where the sticks are balanced. If not, try to move the better option, balancing the sticks in the groups. And here putting Spanish, if I don't know what to do, I do the less worse. Then if I can win, we try to defend my strategy and continue not losing as much as I can and try to force an error of the human. This is also the strategy when we have an storage of logistics where the pieces move around all the scenario. And if someone fails, we have to program another solution to restore the situation and continue as good as possible. And I think that my time is over. So I put again this QR. If you want, you can download, use the game, the slides, and everything. I'm in time, so that's all.
Hi, David. Thank you very much for that amazing section. It was a great presentation there. Thank you very much.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much, David. That was an interesting session there. Like David said, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to him. He's none other than David Martinez, and of course, any of the links which he has shared with us, we'll be sharing them with you as well. So, David, any last words? Oh, this is it, right? All right. Thank you very much, David. It was nice having you here on stage today.
Okay, thank you very much.
Awesome. All right, guys. I mean, I hope you have been enjoying this beautiful Global Azure Bootcamp, the AI Bootcamp we have for you. Like I said, we have amazing speakers who are going to be on stage today. All right, I'll be calling on one of my fellow colleagues and another MVP as well. He's also a leader of the Azure Nigeria community to take it up from here. Hello, Raphael. How are you doing today? Hello, Raphael. Looks like I'm not able to hear you clearly. I think you're on mute.
Oh, sorry for that. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. How do you think the series has been going so far, or the session or the event has been going so far?
Good information that we need we Nigerians need to get our feet in the sand. So I think all the
Yeah.
information that is coming is very, very, very important.
Yes, I do agree with you very much. I do very much agree with you. All right, I think I'm going to be handing over the stage to you so you can proceed from here.
No
All right,
problem.
Reverend Raphael.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing speaker next, and his topic is developing enterprise co-pilot solution using Azure AI. His name is no other than Ashish Sharma. Ashish Sharma, are you there? Please come up. Hello, Ashish. Oh, great. So he's here with us. So Ashish is an amazing guy. He's not just amazing, he's a Microsoft MVP as well. He has paid his dues. He has worked as a cloud solution architect. He knows yeah, he knows his onions right from the inside. He has worked 7 years, and he's going to be telling us all about Copilot. You all know Copilot is something that we've been waiting to hear about. Even me myself, I can't wait. I have my pen and my paper ready. I think Ashish is not audible. Ashish might be having some connection problem. Ashish, please, can you unmute yourself if you are muted? Um,
Yes, I think he's actually coming on. But I mean, in the meantime, before he comes on, right? You were talking about MVP Ashish. Maybe you could tell us more about him and some of the projects he's worked on.
The guy has paid his dues. I always get excited to see cloud solution architects come to talk. So he has worked closely with customers. He knows cloud. He has delivered cloud. He has worked on cloud project, and he's currently heavily vested in the cloud space. He knows Azure. He's where he works is responsible for Azure products. He has guided workloads of customers, and he has 7+ years experience in the cloud space.
Hello.
Oh, he's here. Okay, hi,
Yeah.
Oh,
Ashish.
perfect. Hey, hello everyone. Sorry, there's some issue with my camera. Like whenever I'm just opening my camera, there's some issue with my audio as well. Uh, Never mind.
But we can hear you clearly now, right, Ashish? We can hear you
That's
clearly.
that's perfect. That's perfect. Thanks a lot for giving me an opportunity here to speak on Azure AI services. And yeah, sorry for this kind of delay. It's yeah. Shall I share my screen?
Yes, please. I'll leave the stage to you so that you teach us. We're excited to hear what you have to say. Please go ahead, please.
Okay, just give me a minute and I will let you. Uh, Let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So thanks a lot, guys, for giving me an opportunity to speak on development enterprise copilot solution using Azure AI Studio. So whenever we talk about the enterprise solution, it's something that we need to take care of security, performance, cost optimization, then high availability, and then we have some Azure AI Studio is already here, and we can leverage the services of Azure AI and implement a solution for our companies for enterprise solution. So this is some small demo where you can just learn about the Azure AI Studio. What is this all about? And whenever you are implementing the enterprise solution, what would be the things that you need to take care of it? Mostly, I will talk about the landing zone, and one about the Azure AI Studio, and a small demo. So my focus more about the small demo where you will learn about like how can you utilize your own data, and then a small chatbot kind of application that we will deploy on Azure Web App. So before starting this session, let me introduce myself. My name is Ashish Sharma, and I'm based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm working as a cloud solution architect, and I'm also Microsoft Azure MVP. So I am assisting organization to innovate their solution and assisting them as well to build up their application based on Azure and other cloud service provider. And you can reach out to me in this LinkedIn profile. So just search it out, Ashish Sharma. This is the link, and you can reach out to me anytime if you have any queries related to Microsoft Azure. So our first topic is about what is Azure AI Studio. So this is one of the service that is right now in preview stage. And Azure AI Studio is a central web portal which is integrating various Azure AI services for streamline the AI development. So it simplifies the creation and deployment of AI model. It also provides a centralized platform for mapping your AI projects. The main key features about Azure AI Studio is it has the model catalog and prompt flow development from machine learning. It has a capability to deploy, test, and custom data integration from Azure OpenAI. And it has an integration with Azure AI Studio, Azure AI services like speech, vision, language, document intelligence, and it also provides content service measures as well. So the most important thing in Azure AI Studio, I would say, like it's kind of an integrate. It brings all the capabilities which is related to Azure ML, Azure OpenAI services. Azure Search is also there, so you will get a centralized workspace for our developer who can develop AI-based projects. So this is the kind of overview we can just see in the demo as well. This is important, like Azure AI Studio is also supported environment for AI development, where we will having Azure AI Hubs for collaborative work. We can create projects and do the project management for organized assets and code. We can also access the scalable computer sources and comprehensive data sources. We can also have a capability to have a web-based code development environment tailored for AI application. You will get a VS Code, web-based VS Code would be there. And it also, Azure also comes with the SDK, CLIs, libraries for automation and workflow streaming. As we are seeing in our day-to-day life, there are so many collaboration going on. Like recently, NVIDIA is having a collaboration with Azure. We can see Mistral AI. So Azure AI Studio also comes with a model catalog where you can see the repository of foundational models. It is curated by Azure AI, Microsoft, Hugging Face, Meta. It also supports immediate application within Azure AI Studio. And there's an evaluation criteria as well to check how can we evaluate our this numbers of models using our Azure AI Studio. So here you can see like they have a collection of so many models. Then we have model catalog. You can select it by as per your requirement, like text classification, token classification. So you can have a text classification, token classification, Q&A. So here, this is one of the best thing that you can just search it out in Azure AI Studio. You can also check your benchmark on the basis of basically it has a service that you can compare all the models as per your requirement on the basis of accuracy, or all the models would be there. Okay, so most important thing in today's session is landing zone. So let's say you're planning to deploy any solution in enterprise. So you have to make sure like you should have an Azure landing zone. So Azure landing zone is in cloud computing, provides a well-architectured foundation for setting up and managing cloud environments. and it consists of best practices, design principle, and resources that ensure a secure, compliant, and efficient cloud infrastructure. The integration of Azure OpenAI, or you can say Azure AI services, into a landing zone enhances the environment with AI capabilities, while it will maintain the security and governance standards as well. This integration enables the hosting and implementation of OpenAI models as a backend services for application, enriching the cloud environment with powerful AI capabilities. On a high level, I would say this is a landing zone for AI services, where you can see this is a EA account. It is associated with Azure AD. Azure AD is known for, you can say, Entra ID is there. We will have a IAM. Then we will have a management group. Inside a management group, you can see a number of subscription would be there. And here you can see a management subscription, connectivity subscription, and sandbox subscription. At the same time, you can see a Azure DevOps repo for CI/CD. And moreover, we will focus on our connectivity subscription and Azure AI subscription now. So here's the connectivity subscription, and VNet pairing is done with the Azure AI subscription. So after you validated your concept and customize your requirement, the next step is to construct a framework that ensure your security, dependability, and scalability. So Azure Landing Zones provides a streamlined approach, deliver a robust and well-architectured blueprint which tailor to your application's requirement. And in this diagram, or you can say like in this Azure AI Landing Zone introduce a reference architecture which will provide you the set of Terraform configuration as well, which aligns with the enterprise architecture standards, and also provides some recommended services within an AI subscription. So the integration of Azure AI services, which will enhance your AI capabilities. It will also maintain the security and governance standard and hosts and implements OpenAI models for your powerful AI deployment or applications. Let's go through the Azure. So now here it's like there is an integration of on-prem system with your connectivity subscription. And the connectivity subscription will have a VNet pairing with the AI service subscription. So in order to design this framework, we have to make sure like we will enable our security, we will have scalability, cost optimization is also there. At the same time, high availability should be there. So in short, or I would say a summary for this Azure AI Landing Zone is that we have to achieve Azure Well Architecture Framework. So let's discuss on the essential services that is aligned with all this Azure Landing Zone. So let's start with a service of Azure Front Door, which manages your incoming and outgoing traffic. We will have API management. So the traffic is coming from here. It will be there for incoming and outgoing traffic. While we will be having API management, which will help to control implements traffic control measures as well. And APIs would be there. And we have a WAF policy, which will protect your application from any kind of vulnerabilities, or it will act as a firewall to prevent your web threats. Then we will be having a Azure Web App, which can host, or it will be acting as a front end for your application. And then we will be having Azure Keyword for secret management. Then we will have Azure Core Azure AI services. So we can say like there is a subnet of Core Azure AI services. We will be having AI search here, which will provide you retrieval augmented generation. We will be having a storage account for file storage solution. we have OpenAI, which provides you a GPT models, or apart from GPT, there are a number of models. So it will provide you the AI models to deploy your solution. Apart from that, we will be having a database management. So for the database management, CosmoDB, I would recommend one of the recommended solution for NoSQL capabilities. And then we will be having resources like our diagnostic settings would be there, private DNS would be available, and for our cost management, we will be using our cost management, Azure billing and cost management role assignment would be there. RBAC should be provided, and then Defender for Cloud for our security vulnerabilities checks. So the key feature of this Azure landing zone is to have inherent separation of data services, which supports the independent scaling of application and platform resources in response to increase your user interaction. At the same time, it will have a capability to achieve your Azure Wire Architecture framework. This isolation is also crucial for maintaining the performance and reliability on you as per demand basis as well. So as your demand will increase, then the scalability will also there. At the same time, it will also maintain your high availability. I think that's all from the resources management. I think I didn't cover the Azure private DNS zone. So this Azure private DNS zone and the resolver service enables your DNS resolution within your Azure network and also ensure a secure access to your internet and private cloud resources. So once it is done, then we can make sure like we will be having Azure landing zone for AI services. Let's say we have designed this kind of architecture, then we can deploy our enterprise application on our Azure environment. So it's a must that whenever we will be planning to deploy an enterprise solution, it is important to focus more about the landing zone first, then your application, then your scope. So this would be a kind of a solution architect recommendation that make sure your landing zones should be good enough as per your application requirements, so that whenever there will be a enhancement or whenever you will be increasing your workload, the services, everything will maintain and you will achieve your well architecture framework. Any question on this? I think it's I just gave a quick one, so I can just wait for some more minutes and I can answer your queries. Otherwise, we will move to the demo section. Okay, if no question, then let's move to the demo section now. So in this demo, we will focus on to create a chatbot using Azure AI Studio, and we will assume that our landing zone is has been created, and we have to deploy our services on Azure AI Studio on our resource group. But it's a kind of prototype, so we will just assuming that everything in the backend is already done. So I'm not using any kind of Terraform script, or we will be using our Azure portal to perform a small POC, how to create a co-pilot, or you can say like a chatbot using Azure AI Studio. So let me share my screen again. I hope you can see my screen. Okay, if you can see my screen, let me go ahead. So the link of Azure AI Studio is ai.azure.com. You have to just come here. The most important thing in Azure AI Studio is like if you are not logged in as well, you can see and explore the Azure models. So here we have some services that we can deploy by clicking events as well. So we discuss about hub and projects. So let's go ahead and just create a new project, and then we will discuss more about how can we proceed. So I have already created few projects, but for a demo, I will show you how to create your own project. Or also, let's say you want to create your own Copilot solution using your own data, so you can click on this button as well. For creating a new project, you can click here. So let me create here, click here. So it will ask for select an existing project. You can select it from here, or you can click on create new project. You can give your project name. I would say Copilot demo. And now you have to create your resources. So in order to create your resources, you have to create a hub. So hub would be like a inside your hub, all the projects will be managed. So it's like a hub would be like a collaboration environment where you can share your project, you can add your members there, you can train your model, you will have your model endpoints, everything would be there inside your Azure AI hub. So let's give a name of Azure AI. You have to select your subscription from here, then select your new resource group, or you can select your from existing resource group as well. Select your region, and a good feature here is like you have an option that help me to choose. So you can select your models, what is your requirement, and as per your requirement, let's say you have to select GPT-4 or this one, this service, this model that you're going to use it. So it will have to select your location. So the recommended location is UK South. The other possible location would be there because AI models, Azure AI models are limited to a few regions as well. So you need to be smart enough to select your nearest region. And once the region would be selected, select your UK South as per your requirement. And then you can create your own, a new OpenAI service and AI service for indexing your solution, or you can say for RAG as well, retrieval augmented generation. So no errors there. There was some error was there because of access policy, but whenever you will be creating a new project or new hub, this would be there. And then it will ask for your chat model that you are planning to deploy. So you can select it from there and then click on next. And these much of resources would be there. Since I have already created it, it will take some time. So let me go directly to the project that I have created. And so here we have three tabs: explore, build, and manage. To build your solution, you will be having a Azure projects. Click on here. The management tool is to manage your hub. So here you can see your hub would be there. I will perform a demo on this Copilot demo hub. So inside your Copilot demo hub, there will be a project, and you can add your users here as well. Like there's an option, and you can just click on here. So you will be direct to your subscription Copilot resource group. And these are the connection that we will be using it for. Azure OpenAI connection is there, AI search, then the blob storage, and this is the project. So you can click on project here. It will directly go to your build tab. Also, we have a service that I have already mentioned that we can explore our models as well. So Mistral AI is there. We have Meta. So as per your requirement, you can select your task. Let's say we want to have a Q&A or question answering. So it will provide you the list of models. And now you want to see the model benchmark, which one is suitable for you. So you can select as per your requirement, like I want to have a comparison on the basis of, let's say, Q&A, and now compare model. You can select your metrics, Like I want accuracy, fluency, GPT similar, and relevance, not relevant. Let's say on the basis of these three, you can get accuracy, fluency, and GPT similarity. You can select your model accordingly. It's the best service that you can compare your models as per your requirements. So here is chart as per your requirement. Okay, so let's go to your project again. And here we have a project. Inside our project, inside your build tab, you will find your project and click on overview. You can see, you can select your description here. In the playground, you can see your mode as well, like whatever solution you're planning to build. So you can create your assistant, chat, completion, images, and other solution. Whenever you will be planning to create your any solution, it's important to create your deployment. So what is deployment here? Here, deployment is all about your models. So you can select your models here, real time or pay as per you. Recommended to have it a real time endpoint. And as again, depending on your requirement, you can filter it out from here. Let's say text generation and chat completion as per your requirement, and you can select it here. Let's say I have selected this, confirm, and it will create a deployment for you. So I have already created GPT 3.5 Turbo here. Then you can add your data over here. So I have already added one PDF file that is related to implementing a zero trust approach with Azure AD for this solution. But let's say you will be in enterprise solution, you may have few data. So in order to select your data source, you can select either your global storage, or if there is any other storage, you can select it from here by passing the SAS token and the details over here. And then it depends on whether it is file, folder, table. So depending on this requirement, you can create your own a new connection. So new connection, it can have an integration with blob storage, data lake, or Microsoft OneLake. And depending on the authentication, it can be authentication credential basis, or you can have your account key or SAS token. You can integrate your data source. Also, it has a service that you can upload your files and folders from directly from here. Just simply upload it here. But I won't recommend for enterprise solution because your data should be secure enough, and there would be some private endpoints. So it's better to have an integration using your SAS token or authentication key in order to integrate your data. So I have already put my data here, Azure AD. So, and the indexes is already created. So I have created a vector index here. So vector index is a search where it will check for the similar kind of data. Let's assume in keyword search, what is happening, like let's say you have a data source where you will be going to search something like a keyword like Apple. So it will try to search only that keyword from your data source Apple, and it will fetch that details and provide you the result. But let's say you are using the vector search. So in vector search, it is based on the ANN algorithm, approximate nearest kind of algorithm is there, where it will just look for your similar keywords. So similar keywords, let's say I'm looking for a keyword like Apple. So instead of Apple, it will also bring the results of fruit because it has some kind of similarity. So that's why the vector search is providing you more better results as compared to the keyword results. So let's go to our playground again. And here, what we have to do it like, so our data source is already here. We have already selected our GPT, and we need to select our data. So you can add your data from here, like add your data, and then there would be a solution that you can use your what I have shown you here. Once you will selected your data, once you will select your data, you can select like use your project data. So it will be having this data. Next, then it will ask for the AI search, ask for the search. So I have to enable my vector search. and we are using the OpenAI resource. I have to acknowledge if I want to use this text embedding other. Next, the index settings would be there that we have to index one time. One time index would be there, or we have to do it the indexing on hourly basis or daily basis. And you can change your index name as per your requirement. It will review it, and it will take some time to get your data integrated with our, or you would say it will take some time to ingest your data. Once everything is done, let's say we have already ingest, and it will take some time. That's why I have created my project index already, and we have selected our search type as hybrid and vector keyword. So let me show some demo here. Before that, there's one more feature of prompt samples as well. Like here, you can see like we have a sample here, but we can utilize this prompt sample as well. So you can ask anything like, say, I want to have a chatbot for hiking recommendation. So use this prompt and it will just copy paste some prompt over here. And then we can utilize this this GPT as a hiking recommendation tool as well. But we already have a data, so we will proceed with this data. Evaluation, I have already, okay, so let's get some data, then we will see how can we evaluate our solution. Just give me a minute again. So let's go ahead and so we have put the data related to zero trust approach in Azure AD. So we will ask few queries related to this one, like what is zero trust? A few questions like how to implement zero trust. So this is not requesting the data. Let me refresh it again. Okay, now it is providing the data. So we can put it as dislike over here as well, and by providing the details. And now let me ask how to implement zero trust in Azure AD. So it will keep you, it will give you the results over here. I think it's still generating the answer, and the references would be here. So in this way, you can implement your data and integrate your data along with your GPT models in Azure AI. And now once this everything is implemented, then you have to make sure like you have a capability to evaluate whether it is running fine or not. So it is having a manual evaluation feature where you can ask here input and get the expected output, and then you will get a result as well. So here we can just ask few things like zero trust in Azure AD, few queries like Azure AD policy, what is Sentinel. So this is something that you can do it. It's better to have some test data so that you can import it from here. I just put it like this for a demo, and you can click on run button. So then it will generate your answer, and then and once it is done.
Hello, Ashish. Thank you very much. We have enjoyed your session. In order to give space for the next speaker, I think that
Okay.
we need to you need to wrap it up. So I just give you some few seconds to wrap up so that the next speaker can come and speak.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's almost done. Like we have already done everything, but just since I have already provided all the details, so I would say like, okay, it can be, the result can be deployed from here. And there is one feature called the deployments over here. So you can just directly deploy to your Azure Web App as well. So once the deployment is there, then you can select your services like Azure Web App Services. So you will be having a front end application and you can deploy it over there. And then you can also see from your Azure portal that you will be having the Azure resources, how they are.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ashish.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are very grateful to
Yeah,
have
I agree. I agree.
And I tell you that the demo you made, a lot of our members are going to be following it to do exactly what you did. We are very appreciative. Thank you. So,
Okay, then. Yeah.
No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be calling the next person that will be moderating the next session to come up, and he's going to be presenting the next speaker. Thank you very much. Emmanuel, please come up.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much, Ashish, for that amazing session. I mean, I've learned a lot using Copilot with Azure AI Studio. All right. I'll be introducing our next speaker for today's event. In person of Sebastiano Galazzo. Sebastiano Galazzo is a winner of 3 AI awards. He has been working in AI and machine learning for 25 years, designing and developing AI and computer graphics algorithms. And he's very passionate about AI, focusing on audio, image, natural language processing, and predictive analysis as well. He has received several national and international awards that recognizes his work and contributions in those areas. And one thing about Sebastiano is he's also a Microsoft MVP for artificial intelligence category. It's a pleasure to have you as a guest with us today. Hi, Sebastiano. How are you doing today?
Hi. Thanks for the invitation, first of all.
You're welcome. So
Also thanks for the presentation.
Yeah. Awesome. You have the stage, please. Go ahead with your session.
So I guess that we can start. Let me share my screen. Okay, here's one. And here we are. So we can begin.
Yeah.
Well, we already had our presentations, but very quickly, I'm Sebastiano Galazzo from Italy, and here are my contacts. I'm the CTO of a company named Synapsia, and of course, we deal with AI. If you want to write to me after, I will be happy to help if I can, of course. And what is the goal of this speech? Maybe, as you know by the title, I will tell you about my journey and my experience in fine-tuning, creating large language models, but much more focusing on fine-tuning. Well, the goal of this speech is not to say that OpenAI is not good or Azure services that doesn't work, because sometimes the message could be misunderstood. Absolutely not. They are great tools, and me too. I use them in our company. But sometimes, when you want to reach spatial performances, you need to do things from scratch sometimes. So that's my experience. Maybe that's good for me, and is not said that is what you need. But if you are in the case that you need to create something from scratch because the tools are not enough, or you need to combine them in a special way, here we are. Just an example. Here there is the result of embeddings calculated using the OpenAI model. Okay. The question in Italian is what are white pizzas? White pizzas are pizzas without tomato. Okay. The correct paragraph has a score of 0.85. That is very, very good. But there are similar paragraphs that do not contain the information that we are talking about white pizzas. But of course, there are ingredients of general pizzas. And that's correct from a point of view that that paragraph has a nice score, almost 18. Okay. Of course, there are also another paragraph that is almost a sentence that contains nothing, just bad keyword and most related to pizza, but as a really high score. Well, for some scenarios, that could be fine, but not for everybody. Because could happen that, for example, in my case, that I need the perfection, I need the very, very accurate information to be extracted in order to use in a RAG technique. This is the reason why, in this case, I need to create my own model and to fine-tuning it. To do that, we use tools coming from Microsoft, from Hugging Face, and then also from GitHub. Very, very quickly. So, what we need? Of course, we need a large language model, and what I can suggest, from my experience, is starting from Mistral, because I used the Llama 2, is an amazing model, but I realized that Mistral has better performances while it is smaller, and it's easier to fine-tune. To inject knowledge inside your model, you need a RAG technique. What is RAG? As you know, large language models contains inside a lot of knowledge, but not all possible knowledge. Well, what I mean that, of course, the information of yesterday cannot be included inside your model, and so it can't transfer. This is the reason why you need, for example, to extract information from Bing using Microsoft Bing, or if you want another search engine, summarize the web page and then inject inside the inference of the model in order to be processed. In the same way, if we are talking about your knowledge, that could be documents, images, PDF, text, and so on. The same thing can be done also with speech-to-text and text-to-speech. You can say, but Microsoft has amazing resources for speech-to-text and text-to-speech, and I agree, and that's true. Again, I use them. But for example, I needed to clone voices, and I was not allowed to access to the service because you need a lot of authorizations. So I said, well, guys, I have the knowledge, I can do that, and I did it. But just because I had not the permissions. If I had the permission, I would use Microsoft services. Anyway, say that, here we are, how I will explain what I did to clone, which model I used to clone voices. And if we have time, I don't know, I will talk about how to create your own engine, avatar, to create your own, the copy of yourself. So there are a lot of models, There are several models from Mistral that you can use. I suggest exactly that version, okay? Because the extract version is a little bit much more powerful, but the real reason is that it is much more compliant with ChatGPT. And in my case, for example, what I did is because I do not want to say that ChatGPT doesn't work. I use both in my project, inside my project, and I switch sometimes. And having a model that is much more compatible with the ChatGPT makes life easier. Okay, so again, I'm telling my experience on what I did. Mistral could be is said to be much more powerful than ChatGPT. That is not exactly true. It's almost close. ChatGPT is a little bit better, and especially in some tasks, but Mistral could be better in other tasks. And anyway, they are almost comparable, but I would say that is a one step below, but is always an amazing model. Okay. So if you want to start creating your own LLM using that version, else ChatGPT. But how to fine-tuning these models? I used a technique that is named LoRa. I don't know if everybody knows about that, how it works. I guess that you know, guys, that is a must, not a must. It's not possible for common people like us to really train a large language models. We never have the resources. Just for example, a very small model like Microsoft V2, that is a toy compared to other models, because it's smaller, of course, took 2 weeks of training with 96 GPUs. Nobody has the money, I guess, to afford this kind of resources. And to train a model like Mistral took from 10 to 50 millions of dollars, because it's unbelievable and speechless the amount of GPUs and the hardware that you need to do that. But so, how we can do it? If we said that is almost impossible, thanks to that technique. The idea behind is that we do not train all the model. For a while, let's imagine the whole model like it was a matrix, a very huge matrix. Thanks to some math properties, as you can see on the right, we have just 2 vectors. One for a column and one for a row. One for a while, okay? After we will see that we can expand that dimensions. Anyway, the idea is not to train all the metrics, but just that 2 vectors. Then multiply together, they create a matrix that is overlaid and summed over the original model. That's a really clever idea, because in this case, I can train just the 1% of the whole model, and it works, guys. It really works, saving a lot of money and a lot of hardware and time. I could do the training of a large language model like Mr. 7B on my machine. I have a very, very good GPU, but for consumer. an NVIDIA 3019, and I can do it in 1 or 2 days. It depends on the dimensions, of course, of your data set. So it's a very game-changing compared to $10 million. So you can find a lot of tutorials on the web on how how to use LoRa inside your Python code. So there's not enough time, and I want to focus just on the key parameters that busted my time in this month, and I want to that you pay attention on these two parameters: the R parameter and the LoRa alpha parameter. Well, the R parameter is basically how wide is each single vector, as we said in the previous slide. As you can see, I talk about the A vector and the B vector. A vector is a matrix of dimension 1, and the R is how wide is it. So, of course, for dimensions bigger than 1 is no more a vector, is a matrix, but you can multiply anyway. And I guess that you can understand very, very quickly that the higher the value means much more trainable parameters. And the model you believe that could be better, yes, but is not always true. Trust me, guys, I wasted a lot of time with several tests, and that's not always true that higher values are always better. So that's the first suggestion that I can give to you in order to save time. Okay. Well, the other parameters, it was really hard to me to understand what that means. And so I'm happy to share with you in detail how it works. We said that multiplying those vectors, so we create a matrix that will be overlaid and added over the original models. And then basically is how much we add that model over the original. It looks like how much important is your training over the base model. That's the idea. So if you selected an R dimension of 32 and the LoRa alpha is 64, based on that formula, it means that the real value is 2. So you multiply those weights by 2. So it is far away much more important than simply adding. Again, based on my experience, I suggest to keep a ratio of 2. So the golden rule is if you to set the LoRa alpha twice the value of the R parameter. Everybody in tutorial said that a good value is for R, and then LoRa alpha is 32, 64, also for R 64 and 128. But again, based on my experience, I suggest you to use lower values because I get, if not better performances, equal performances sometimes, and you use the half of the time to training. Half of the time, it means also half of the cost. And that's a really hard lesson that I had to learn, and I'm very happy to share. I can understand that this telling about those very small parameters and informations could be not so great for someone, but that are the information that made me fast or save a lot of time and money. Okay. Well, we said that we create a matrix when we do fine tuning, and we add over the base model. So I guess that you have a data set and you want to specialize that model, for example, to work with in a legal world or in restaurants, or to math, to code. I don't know, whatever you want. But here the clever idea. But if that's so easy, what if we could swap in real time the small training that we did based on what is the task that I need in that time? That can be done, and that's amazing because you can push to the next level your possibilities. It means that you can do, for example, a training for math, a training for philosophy, a training for history, and so on. And in real time, in production, while inference, you can say, okay, based on that query, swap on the fly using that model, and so on. To do that, I suggest to use some libraries, because you can do it from scratch. But against what you can believe, I don't like to reinvent the wheel every day. And where I can, I try to use some tools that can do things for sure better than me for some task. And that's the project that I can suggest to you if you want to do something like that. Well, we said that we have to use RAG technique in order to inject inside the model your knowledge or real-time knowledge, whatever it is. And for images, I suggest to use that model, exactly that version. Here is the link, is Lava 1.5.7b from Hugging Face. So the Hugging Face version is very, very important because I tried several models. I wasted my time because they were too big. The results, I don't know why, weren't so great. But that model, guys, is amazing. Of course, if you want, you can use the service provided by Microsoft. It has an amazing service and you can do it. Why to use your own model? Again, if you want a specific behavior on the description, because using the service coming from Microsoft that's great, but is not it's generic, so it's for everybody. In the 80% of cases, is the best option. But if you have money to run a model with on a dedicated GPU and you have specific needs, that's the model for image description that you have to use, in my opinion. Instead, when talking about document processing, I tried several models, but there is nothing better than document intelligence from Azure AI. That's the best. Nothing can be compared, and so here try straight using that service. Here is the link. Instead, when talking about transformers, I guess, but that's my opinion, because of the project that I manage, I'm not happy with performances of services that you can find that they are available. But every service, there is not just one. But again, why that? Because as I showed to you at the beginning of the speech, they are developed, they are trained to be much more generic as possible. And so the gap between what is good and what is not good is too tight. And you cannot set a threshold in order to exclude the document that you don't need. But there is also another reason that, honestly, guys, is a fact that everything works very, very well and perfectly when we speak English. Of course, nowadays, ChatGPT talks in your language and most all languages of the world, but English is always better. So everything will perform always better using in English language. So if you want that something works in your language that is not English, I guess that the best thing is fine-tuning that. I can share, because I guess that we don't have so much time, I could share my training script for embeddings if you need, so write to me. And I suggest to start from that model, because again, I tried a lot of models. I wasted my time on behalf of you, and that's the best. But I'm really excited to share with you a new theory, or at least a solution that I invented to fix an issue that is related to almost all embeddings engines. I hope to write a publication over there for that, and you are one of the first. Yes, for sure. I can share all you need at the end. Well, what I'm talking about. Maybe you know that embeddings, for example, from OpenAI has a very huge context, 8,000 tokens of context. It means that you can manage a very huge document. But this is not always true, and this is not always what you need, because guys, a lot of people do not understand that often this is wrong. Not because OpenAI doesn't work very, very well. This is not the meaning. What I mean, let's say that you have a document like the one on the left that is very huge, that talks about cars, okay? And let's say that it talks about, Mercedes, okay? Maybe at the beginning, the whole document is talking about cars, Mercedes. But at the beginning, we are talking about the performances of the car. In the middle, we are talking about the price. And at the end, is just an example, my consideration. So, well, compared to electric vehicles, I guess that this model is not good, or for families is not the best option, or vice versa. Okay. What it means that if you use the whole document, the semantic meaning changes. Is not the same of the semantic meaning of the paragraph of the piece that talks about the performances, of the paragraph that talks about the price, and other things. So the more you shrink the size of the paragraph, could change a lot the meaning of that area. So even though you could have a service that can manage the full document, doesn't mean that could work for you. Well, there is also another issue that, for example, if you use models coming from Hugging Face, they are not so big. They are too short as the input that they can manage. In this case, only 128 token. So if you split into chunks the whole document, for example, 450, that 450 doesn't fit inside the embedding engine that I suggested to you. That is the best model and the most performance. Okay, it means that you have to adapt the chunk splitting to the size of to the smallest size of the embedding engine. It means 128 token, but 128 token are just a sentence, more or less. Is not enough. Well, so what we can do to manage the not all the document, because we don't want to process all the document, but we want to manage a paragraph that is good enough in terms of dimensions, but not too much. Here the idea that I had, and I really excited to share with you. I had still not the time to write a library. Please give me the time, and then I hope to share on GitHub. Anyway, I did it in Python, so it means that if you get the idea behind in the meanwhile, you can do it by yourself. So if we have an input of only 128 tokens and we want a paragraph of 450 tokens, we can split that paragraph, in this case, for example, into 4, and we concat all the embeddings. In this case, we switch from 384, that is the output in token of that model, up to 384 by the number of small chunks. But if you do nothing, you cannot compare your query to that paragraph, because they do not match the dimension. Because how embeddings engine works, you compute the embeddings of a sentence, the embeddings of another sentence, the output is the same, and you simply done the mean square error that returns a score of similarity. So you need the same size. Yes, I'm going to finish. Well, the idea was there are two methods, and I'm working on the third. The first method is to compute the embeddings of your sentence and multiply, concatenate of the same dimensions of the one before. In this case, you can now multiply, and based on the fact that you move your question along all the paragraph, keeps the semantic similarity or the semantic search all along the paragraph. Well, you can say, but we can use a naive technique that works like the method 2, or we have the chained embeddings, and we can move in a 4 cycle just the query embedding and comparing with each slot. You can believe that is the same thing, is not the same thing because they return different scores, and the meaning of these two behind these two methods, what are? If you use method 1, is much more related to the full paragraph, the semantic search. Well, instead, with method 2, is much more closer to keyword search. So if you want to find a very small specific token, doesn't exist the best technique, because it would be stupid to say that. It means that you have to use the technique, the method that is better for you, and nobody knows what is better for you. You have several options, and for example, also for me, there are some cases that works better with method 1, other cases that works better with method 2. I'm working with another option that the idea behind is that to use interpolation. So I would like to try to enlarge the vector of the smallest chunk and interpolating values between them. That should work, but honestly, I don't know. I hope that I can share with you the results of my research in the next conferences. So I guess that the time is over. I would have a lot of things to say, but will be for the next time. Because for the next time we can talk about voice cloning, and how here I will just share that's the project where I started. So if you want, start from that. I modified something, but not so much, and that's amazing. You can start using that. Well, guys, there is also building avatar, but I guess that we can go straight to thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sebastiano. It's actually a very wonderful session. We are actually happy for this information, sharing your research with us in the community. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. At this junction, I'm going to hand over the mic to the person to handle the next session. The both
Yes,
of them.
guys, just one thing before to leave. Feel free to write to me if you need a slide or if maybe portion of a project, GitHub, my code, if I can share. Really, if I can, I will be happy to help. Just write to me.
All right. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Yeah, bye.
Sebastian, before you go, can you give us a link to your PowerPoint presentation so we can share it with our audience? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah. I don't. What you prefer? If I can share on OneDrive link, or I can send
Okay.
you. If you write to me an email, I can share the full presentation, the
Okay.
PowerPoint, and it's
Okay.
up to you to share with your community, wherever
Okay.
you want.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes. I'll write to you. I'll write to you.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Great. Thanks.
Thank you very much again for the invitation. Bye.
All right.
Thank you,
Bye.
Sebastiano. Bye. Yeah.
Hi guys. So thank you very much for staying with us till this time. It's been a very amazing section, and now we're going to be wrapping up, and I'll be calling on our current leader to do the wrap up and summary and closing of the event. Thank you very much, Damilola. Over to you.
Hi, Mo. Thank you. And thank you for a wonderful session. I want to say thank you to everyone who has stayed to the end. I hope you have enjoyed the sessions today. Feel free to leave your reactions in the comment section or even go to our social media pages to drop your reaction about today's events. We always love feedbacks about our events today. And I want to say thank you to all of the speakers. See, I believe that because of all of the speakers we've had today, from Pratap, who talked about the possibilities of the Azure AI Studio, and David, who also thought about expert systems, how they can help us. And we had Ashish talking about developing Copilot solutions. And then also we had Sebastino, which was our last speaker, and he talked about creating your own LLM systems. And I think that all of these sessions have been so impactful, and in fact, I mean, pointing out to save costs. I think one of the things Sebastiano talked about is saving costs through having your own LM open source LM system, using open source models. So all of these sessions, I hope that they've been impactful to you. I hope you've gained practical skills. I know we've had a lot of sessions today, and the information might be so much, but definitely you can always come back to watch these videos on our YouTube session, sorry, on our YouTube channel rather. And on behalf of the whole entire Nigeria Azure community, I want to say thank you to our organizers and everyone. And I believe this has been a successful event. Thank you so much. We hope that you take all of the lessons, all of the knowledge that you have learned today, and you make them useful in your organization. Thank you. Thank you very much for
All
joining the
right.
session today.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Damilola. Thank you, the audience, for joining us. You have a lovely weekend.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.